Welcome back to my channel. I'm back with my February flip through from my Rosey Life Planner, which is my daily creative journal, just like kind of like my daily life, art, creativity, thoughts, all the things. I did a flip through from January. This is something new that I'm doing this year. I'm about a week behind in March right now, but I'm finally moved. It looks a little different here. This is my temporary place until I get a home remodel done. So you will see me here for the next few videos. Hopefully soon, before the end of this year, I will be in the new house. But some of that will probably be documented in this journal. I've got another flip through of a finished art journal that I've worked on for probably about a year and a half. It's completed. I'm going to be doing a flip through. Let's get to this. Let me know how you like this video. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know what your favorite spread is in this. All right, let's get started with this flip through, starting with my tracker. I have completely fallen off. This is March, so we're not even gonna look at that. But I did well with my tracking in February. I've tracked well, but March, you'll see I've had a lot going on in March, so I've let that go. We come over here to my quarterly planning, and this is where I've put my wins from my quarterly planning. I also have kept up with my reading, what books I've read. You see I've already put these two in for March, and I've got some more to add for March, but we're in February. We're doing February, so I'm going to try not to think about March. This is my monthly spread, and again, I got a lot of this from Amy Y'all. I love her style, and she did this last year in her Hobonichi planner, and it is just a little thought of the day, something to remind her of the day. So I have done that as well. This is my weeklies, and in my weeklies, I read a lot of quotes and motivational things and just different emails that I get. And if a word sticks out to me or a phrase, I put it in my notes app, and then I come over here and I just write it. And it may be just the mood I'm in or something that somebody says. But as you can see, it was cold in February. I moved, I packed. I was over winter. I persisted. I was at capacity there for a while. Those are my February just weeklies, and that's what I decided to do with that. So now we're going to come on over to February, and I'm just going to say right now that my idea in last month I have not done yet, and that was there's a blank page between the dailies in this planner, and I was going to do just kind of a currently, it's like what I'm currently doing, and a picture of myself during that month, so I could kind of keep up with what my hair's doing, what I'm looking like, the skin, all that kind of stuff. Still haven't done it yet, but I'm not losing hope. So this is February 1st. I've received some happy mail. This is from a friend on TikTok. She sent me these wonderful vintage magazines and this beautiful card. I'm not gonna show you the message because, you know, it's personal, but I loved the simplicity and the color and the vibrancy of this card. So this was just a little happy mail from her that I added on day one. February 2nd was the Grammys, and so I just sat there and kind of sketched the Grammy and the things that they showed on the primetime show, who won, that sort of thing. It was a cheese day on the 3rd. Clearly it was over 70, so I was happy. I had a baby bell, and you know, there's really nothing better than cheese. So there you go. It's now in my journal. On the 4th, I used this was just a sticker quote. And this is just something you can do if you're doing some type of a daily creative planner and you don't really have anything for the day. There was nothing really excited to talk about. Use a quote sticker. That's all I did. On this one, just really started thinking about all of the things that we're going to do in the house that we're remodeling. And so this is a little collage that I did with some printed deli paper. 0206, the 6th is a special day. I just did that. That was it. This was a weekend trip that we took to Eureka Springs, which was fun. We got tattoos. Came home. The Super Bowl was on. Had to memorialize the Super Bowl, of course. This is more Happy Mail that I received, and I did this as a little tip-in. This was the little note from another online friend that sent me a pack of just blank pages, and this was a book page that she sent me. It was on February 10th, which was the date, and I pulled this out a couple of days before the 10th, but I set it on my desk, and I decided to use that for February 10th. And it's talking about hobbies. There's just so much goodness in this. If you want to pause and read, it's really good. That's the little letter she sent me, and I tipped that in. I had sorted socks, and packing is just not for the weak, let me just tell you. We had junk food dinner that night. I drew it out. It was a little mini pizza, and I brought home a brownie. He brought home a cookie. Junk food dinner. I got more Happy Mail from an online friend, and she sent me some great little pieces of ephemera and things that I had done a TikTok that inspired her to do some of this. So she sent me some, and I thought that was so sweet. So I added that in, and the little note that she sent me is tucked away in the little envelope. I love Happy Mail. This was Valentine's Day, and my partner and I aren't big Valentine people, but I love my friend, and we did a little Galentine lunch, and strawberries seemed to be the theme of the day, so I went with it. This was from the Little Debbie Valentine cake box, and I just cut out some things from that and used some other little things that I had here. This was a total gray day. It was a Saturday. We did absolutely nothing that day. It was rainy. It was yucky. But what I did see were the little jonquils starting to pop out, and that little bright bit of color was what I needed for this gray day. So I drew this out. This is actually a tree and a little flower bed at my mother's, and that was my 15th. Okay, if you did not see the SNL 50, I know that some people, it was mixed. Some people liked it, some people didn't. I loved it. I thought it was great. I loved the nostalgia of it, and I had to memorialize that. These are Post-it notes, and I was on the phone a lot this day in my office. And so when I'm on the phone, I tend to doodle a lot. And so these were kind of my doodles. Insufferable, that word kept coming up, and I don't know if you noticed that, but that was one of the words back here that I wrote down. So I just added these little doodles in my journal. I love my Nuuly rental, and I had memorialized a coat that I had received in January. So I wore this coat that I got from a Nuuly, and I had to also sketch that out. It was really cold in February, and we had snow in February. I love this tea. This is a tea that I get at Kroger. It's their private selection brand, the sweet cinnamon spice. I have been buying this for years, and I love it. And yes, it did snow, and I finally got out, went to work. That was out of my windshield. The sun was coming out, so I was happy. This is packaging. This is packaging from some dried pineapple that a friend of mine brought to share at our girls' trip last year. And when I was packing, I found the box. I had saved the box because I thought it was so pretty. And so I used it. I did some journaling back here, and I put the pineapple over the top. I love that. It's so fun to use packaging in your journal. This was the weekend of the 22nd and the 23rd, and this was my moving day. We moved my stuff over the course of Saturday and Sunday. So I moved from Evening Shade to Melbourne, and the last thing to go was my unicorn. And I thought that turned out to be such a fun page. I love that. It's probably my favorite of this month. On the 24th, this was my first Monday to go to work from my new place where I am now. On Tuesday, my partner works at a college. They have a culinary program, and we went to a fun little gourmet restaurant night. This was the menu. We invited a couple of our friends. It's actually good friends that let us borrow their truck and trailer, so we treated them to dinner. This is a Warhol card, and I don't know if you can tell on the video, but it's one of those like 3D kind of cards. A friend of mine several years ago had mailed me this card, and it's been on my bulletin board at work, and I was cleaning up in my office. I guess cleaning up and moving kind of encouraged me to also clean in my office a little bit. So I cut the card down and put it in here because I love it. I didn't want to throw it away, so this was just a good way to save it. This is a sketch of my cottage where I have been living for the past 10 years. I went and got a few things that I had not picked up, and my aunt is moving into the cottage. It was a little bit sad. It was bittersweet for sure. That's the cottage. I'm gonna miss living there. It was fun. And then this is the last day of February, and this was a little transparency and note card that I had found in some of my old scrapbooking stuff, again when I was packing, and so I decided to use it and put my little to-do list on there. That is all of February. And again, I've started March, but I need to do my currently in here. I'm gonna get that done hopefully soon. So that was the last day of February, and as you can see, I've started March. I still want to do my little currently for the month on this blank page. I haven't done it yet. Again, thank you for watching my flip through. I hope that this type of content is something that you enjoy. I absolutely enjoy watching other people's flip throughs by the month of their daily journals. Again, Amy Y'all has really inspired me to start this project. I'm not using the Hobonichi, but it is a very similar style of journal. Let me know if you're doing a daily journal. I would love to follow along on your journey as well. Thank you so much. Be sure and subscribe. I promise I'll be back. One of my goals is at least one YouTube video every month, and this is getting in by the hair of my chinny chin chin. So I better get the tweezers out and pluck it. Thanks.